Hello, my jelly fighters. My name is Jim, and this is your daily Brogue for the 14th of July, 2025. Okay, so I have been speaking about AI and art. And what I was saying is that I think that AI will more or less take over pop art, right? If you look at a Marvel movie, it will be made in 25 years by a AI. There are a few places where there might be some copyright issues. Um, I've ever told you the story about Einstein's face, right? Um, so a long, long time ago, I would give crib sheets. So I would give little crib sheets to my students. I'd give them, I'd draw something, and I'd let my students use. I then print it out on a greeting card, and I'd let my students use it as a crib sheet. One of those was Einstein's face, right? And it was a unique one. So what I'd done is I'd taken one drawing of an or one photograph of who's that guy Einstein as a young man, and one as an old man, and I'd taken the pose as an old man, and I'd sort of made it younger. Okay, so therefore, I mean, this is a completely original work of art. There is nothing about this that is derivative. Right? This is my own thing, right? And nobody else's. Nobody can claim that image. There's enough of that that it is unique, and again, it's something, not somebody, not something somebody can say they hold the copyright for. So one fine year, I was oops, bad me. I'd been sitting around, right, not cursed, doing my thing, and I got a notice. So this is years after I'd done this, so I didn't even know this thing still existed. So yes, it was on Cafe Press. Yes, people could buy it. No, nobody ever bought one. Okay, this is um, I can't say nobody ever bought one, but you know, people had bought a few of these things sometimes at points, but compared to the number of things that I'd made and stuff like that, this is not something that we would think about as, a particularly lucrative thing. So then I'm sitting around and I get this looks like, I get a notice from Cafe Press that that one of my cards have been taken down because of policy reasons, right? And usually when this happens, it's because somebody finds whatever you did offensive. So I'm going, I don't think I have anything that's even marginally offensive in this case. All of these are my own original drawings, right? Mostly of either animals or of physicists from the 19th century. So these things that are in this spot are not likely to be things that trigger copyright warnings. So basically, it's offensive. Offensive content is the only thing that you could think of that would trigger this kind of response. It turns out that the problem was Einstein's face. Somebody had claimed Einstein's face, that my drawing of Einstein's face was in some way violating their rights. And it turns out after doing some research, it turned out that Hebrew University of Jerusalem is well known, in the physics publishing world as claiming the rights to Einstein or claiming Einstein's publicity rights after his death, even though he never used them while he was alive. He was not in a state that had them. They've claimed them, and so they have um, been quite liberal in suing people who have done something that looks like they might be making some money off of Einstein's face. Now, they weren't wandering around looking for, 35-year-old college professors to sue. Instead, what was going on is they were in the middle of a dispute with Ford. Ford had made a Ford had produced an advertisement for a trade show, so an advertisement you've never seen. This is not good. That had Einstein's body on top of a Arnold or Einstein's face on top of Arnold Schwarzenegger's head, and it said something incredibly creative, like bored, tough, and smart, or something like that. And so Hebrew University of Jerusalem sued them. Now, Hebrew University of Jerusalem sues a lot of people. They generally won. People usually just backed down. This is this is just what happens. Normally, they're suing small publishing companies with low profit margins, and they will settle on a dime. They will not spend any time trying to ensure or trying to establish whether or not they can use these rights. However, you know, if you're Ford, Ford has what I like to call a lot of money, and Ford may have enough money to fight um, these kinds of legal battles. And so, in general, Hebrew University had bigger lawyers than the people they were um, suing. This time, the reverse was true, and whoever has the biggest lawyers wins. This is the rule of the law, right? The rule of law is whoever has the most expensive lawyers wins. Um, or at least that's what practically. Hmm, that was bad. But it turned out that a pretty good flail was +3. A lot of things I could have done, but again, I didn't look and I didn't try, and so I thought I could just wander with the flail and play my games, which usually I could. So I'm not probably I because it was still 3 strengths down. Um, but the haste charm, the firebolt, the conjuration would have gone a long way. And usually the goblin mystics don't poke you. I forget. They only poke you if they're trapped. Um, so I didn't get to where I wanted to go, but I did tell you this story. So, um, there are publicity rights. Um, some people have them, some people don't. They're much more established now than they were when Einstein died. So Einstein hadn't actually exercised them, and it turns out, you can't if you if they didn't exist and somebody didn't use them right. Um, when you were alive, you can't claim them for them posthumously, right? It's just not something you can do. They did have publicity rights in California, just not in New Jersey. Now they have them all over the world, right? You can't just use Arnold Schwarzenegger's face to sell soap, right? So, um, this is going to go back into saying why AI will not take over all of the things that we consider art in the future. Ian popped